Down.
Pull my curtain down. Right, I'll be back in a sec.
All right, mate. Evening, everybody. Don't know if you can hear, see me, but welcome to another Friday night show on this wonderful day of heat. I am baking, sweating. All right for those with air conditioning units, but we're not privy to that. If you just put in the comments that you can see and hear me, please, we'll be grateful for that. I hope everybody's had a good week. Been a hot one, isn't it? And I think we've got another couple of days of really big heat, and then it's cooling down to a nice 22, 23 next week. Hi, Steph. Looking forward to tomorrow, I hope. I think we're going to be doing a little bit of talking about that tonight. So that'll be a good one. So obviously, Steph can hear me. If anybody could hear it. Thanks, and thanks for what you sent over, Steph, as well. I do appreciate that. I just haven't had time to do a full walk around there, but I am going to do a full walk around there. It looks a little bit bigger, that place, than I initially thought. So I will be looking into that, and I think it does come out to one of the back gardens that I need to look into as well. So thanks for that, Steph.
All right.
Evening, Heidi.
Right.
I think people can see and hear me, Russ, which is really good. Well, Steph can.
I'm hoping everyone else can hear us as well. Oh, right, let's go. Get that into the right place there. I better turn that down.
You might have to turn that one down.
And
oh, that's lovely.
Why am I loud? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I can hear you.
1, 2. Yeah, but I'm really loud in my ear. I don't know why. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm not gaining that much. Are you connected by that, and that? 1, 2, 1, 2. That'll do. Right, let's go. You ready?
Always ready, mate. Always ready.
I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity and return forthwith to your place of origin or to the nearest convenient parallel dimension.
Whoa. Just hold up 1 minute there. It's not who you're going to call, but it's who you're going to listen to. And if you ain't afraid of no ghosts, stay tuned for the EGH Paranormal Talk Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the EGH Paranormal Talk Show live and exclusive on Pulse Talk Radio. It's Friday, the 23rd of June, 2023. It's a bit weird to go backwards on that one, 23.
We do.
Bit weird, that. Bit weird. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to all our lovely listeners over on Pulse Talk Radio, as we are broadcasting around the world, around the globe. We are a global sensation here on Pulse Talk Radio tonight. And if you want to join into the chat, please make sure you head over to our Facebook and our YouTube channels as well, because we are live on there as we speak. So you can come over and see our ugly mugs, the boys from Essex mugs, if you want to. But welcome one and all. And I'm hoping everybody can hear us. And you're all good. It's been bloody hot over here today. It's muggy. It's not nice. Simon said it could be worse. It could be snowing. You know what? I long for a bit of snow, to be fair. It's too hot for me. Too hot for my liking. But welcome to the show. Mr. Simon Hardy. You all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm good, mate. Good, hot, but good.
Yeah, it's
All good.
muggy out there. Muggy. We've had
Yeah.
some storms, but nothing.
And tomorrow night,
Well, that ain't going to help us.
I'll be fine, mate. Just hide under a tree.
Yeah, I'll be in the car before anyone knows it. Welcome everybody. Welcome to everybody in the chat that is listening on Facebook at the moment. We've got Simon, so we've got Steph, we've got the lovely Heidi, and we've got Edward as well. Welcome to the show, guys. Tonight there is a terrible bit of feedback. It must be my microphone that is feeding back, but it's all right. But I just want to start off, guys. I've got a big thank you to say. A big thank you to Heidi that has sent her book all the way over from Denmark for us. So this is great. This is the part 3 of Life with Supernatural Events. I believe you can get all copies on Amazon. I don't know if you can buy directly through Heidi's page, but honestly, guys, if you want a good read, there's 3 of these. This is the 3rd installment. Okay, so you've got part 1, part 2, and this is the third installment. So it's a great book. It's Ghosts and Aliens, The Touch of God, Synchronicity, Remote Viewing, and Telepathy. It's a bit of everything in there, and I've just read the book, the back cover for you. In my book, with Life Supernatural Events Part 3, I touch base with a remote viewing, synchronicity, telepathic, suicidal thoughts, and continuous mysteries experiences with ghosts and alien. The issue of our soul being contracted through God, the importance of friendship, and the death of natural part of our lives, as well as 7 senses. The 6th sense we know, the 6 senses we know about, but the 7th, in this just new box, we humans have something explained into our 6th and our 7th sense at the same time. The sudden understanding the foreign gestures of English, French, German language, and this it said in Danish words to me. How is this possible? I asked if they spoke Danish, but they didn't. And they're confirming that I heard them say, intrigued, and how I was able to take the train when all the trains had been cancelled. Some of my son's truly amazing experience are in there as well. It's a true gift coming from the heart to you. All right. So honestly, guys, this is one of our brilliant listeners' books. It's Life with Supernatural Events. Okay. So please, if you can go over to Amazon, get all the other copies as well. Okay, get 1, 2, and 3 because they are fantastic reading. Okay,
Somewhere.
Yeah, they are really good reading. So, Kev, honestly, these books are amazing by the lovely Heidi. Okay, this is our lovely Heidi. Okay, she has been on our shows before. So give her a follow on Facebook. And go from there, guys. All right, but please make sure you lock in and have a look at this book because it's amazing. All right, it only come today. I only got it today. It was only on my when I come in. It was like there's a present. It's like what a great thing to walk in for. So please make sure you go and have a look. All right. That's the plug-in done, Heidi. All right. I want the check in the post by next week. It's all right. Don't worry. But no, please, guys, if you go, this thing isn't working today. Right, now we're back. That's all right. Right, Steph's in the chat, Heidi's in the chat, Edward is in the chat. Happy Friday, Edward. It is Friday. Kev is in the chat. Christian's in the chat. I haven't heard that name for a long time. Welcome back. He'll say he's been working, but we know that's a loose term of working. Natalie is also in the chat, so welcome one and all to the show tonight. We're going to start off, aren't we, tonight, Simon, talking about one of our favourite locations and probably where everything really started events-wise for us. We've got an event tomorrow night at Cash's Well, one of our first ever ghost hunts that we ever did as didn't. One of our first events that kept us sort of going, didn't it? It was the first one that we tried to do, and I think it was one of our fascinating ones. But it was the tale of really how we come across this place, wasn't it? To be fair, because we had a venue in place for our first ever event, but for some unforeseen circumstances that we couldn't do that one. So we was scratching around. We did a lot of Googling and everything like that. And this well came up in the middle of a woods. And we tried to get over to it. It took us quite a while to find it, didn't it?
It did, because of where it is. There's two ways you could go, isn't there?
Yeah. And I believe we went around the back, didn't we, at first?
Yeah, we did go around the back. And, through the clearing we saw it. It must have been spring or early summer. We tried to find it, I think, because the weather was quite good.
Yeah, it was good. I think it was. Yeah, I remember having a jacket on, so it would have been early.
Oh,
it would have. Yeah, no, I remember having a jacket on. Definitely remember. But we found it with help of our guides as well, didn't we?
Yes.
On this day, because we was guiding in. We had like a bit of a. I don't think, did we have Google Maps in them days? We must have had something along them sort of lines of,
I had no idea. I think Ryan had sort of put something together. But he was with us, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Ryan.
And we had.
If you're listening, Ryan, can you just, if you remember?
So we was always around the right place, but there was a point where we didn't know if we was in the right place or not. And so we just went for it, didn't we? And I think our guide said, look, just go in there. It's in there. So that's what we did.
Yeah.
That's how we found it. So let's do just a little bit for you guys at home. I'm going to just read you a couple of, it's a big page of the history on Cash's Well. Okay. Thurrock, during the 18th, 19th century, had a number of commercial water wells alongside and numerous domestic house wells. In Fobbin Parish Village, Vange Well number 5 survives as a ruin. The wellhead once formed part of a series of wells operated by Farmer Cash.
That's where I don't get that first part, because he actually wasn't a farmer.
But he bought the farm, though, didn't he? He bought Hovell's farm.
Yeah, but he was not. We've known him. He's known as Sir Edwin.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that he became a farmer when he bought the farm.
I don't know. Do you become a farmer if you buy a farm?
I'm assuming so. Jeremy Clarkson has.
Yeah, I suppose so.
He's a farmer. So the mineral water was first obtained from a well sunk at the rear end of Hovell's farm house, Vange, in 1899. The farmhouse still stands, although much altered. It is believed to have stood on its present site for around 400 years, and a Mr. King was the owner in 1899. The water drawn from the well at the time, although seemingly clear, was found to have a particular taste and smell, and when it was boiled, left sediment at the bottom of the container. It was decided not to use the water. Evidently, Mr. King used the water the following year for his cattle when there were very dry weather conditions. The cattle thrived on the water for 3 months, and at the end of this period, they were found to be in exceptional condition. The news came to the attention of Mr. Edwin Cash, who was the owner of a plot of land on higher grounds of the south of Hovell's farmhouse. Mr. Cash was a licensee of the Angel in Islington, quite a well-known public house of the period 1901, and possibly had a future commercial venture in mind as he approached Mr. King with the intention of having a sample of the well water tested at his own cost. This was agreed, and the fan was thought to be high in mineral content. And a breath. At the later date, Mr. Cash is reported to have sunk a well in his own land to the top of Hovell's Calf water source. Although Mr. Cash was successful with this product, water from around 1902, it was not until 1919, when he retired from the Angel, that he decided to develop the commercial interest. Mr. Cash sunk another well alongside the first. It is believed around the time of a large wooden ex-army hut, surplus from the Great War, was erected close to the two wellheads. There is evidence that the hut was also used to store glass bottles, and the exact bottles of the mineral water for the sow. The bottles were made from thick glass, some of which have been embossed just below the neck with a paper featuring a sign, reproduction of Edwin Cash. Verifying the authenticity of the product was also attached to the bottles, neither to complete sample bottle labels located at present. That's obviously to do with the boom, but we know that, doesn't we? We know
there is one bottle out there somewhere, isn't there? That
there's a couple. There's a couple of people have got the bottles, but when we do the ghost hunt, there you walk quite evidently around the square where the hut used to be. You can do a little bit of shuffling with your feet and just see glass everywhere. So we know roughly where the bottling plant was.
Yeah, you see the foundations still, really, can't you?
Yes.
If you go in the daylight, you'll see the foundations, but not so.
Yeah.
In the dark.
We've got loads of rude Christian comments, so I'm going to. He just wants to sit on your knees, so I'm all right for that one. Kev, I used to drink in the Angel pub. I lived in Islington for a while.
So do you know the dome at the top of the pub, Kev? If you've seen that dome at the top of the Angel, that's what you'll be seeing tomorrow.
But just no glass in it.
It's a terrible stuff.
So, right. Mr. Cash obtained a further analysis of the water from Dr. John C. Thrash, consulting medical officer for health for Essex. The analysis of the water and composition with Hockley Spa water was obtained, the findings of which were published in the medical professional magazine, The Lance, of December 1922. The national newspaper had previously reported that the medicine value of the mineral water of the early 1920s, a large number of people reported visiting the well at this time, and the bottling plant was stated to be very busy. It was advertised as sold in local chemists. It was around the early part of 1920 that Mr. Cash advertised his business address as Vange Well, Vange Corner Estate, London Road, Fobbing. A further bottle label in March 1920 indicates the company was registered and was as Vange Water Trading Company Limited, Foresters Lane, Cheapside, London. There is also oral evidence of a large hoarding with an arch-like construction painted with the caption Vange Magical Well, which was sighted along the old A13 in 1923. The Grays and Tilbury Gazette advertised Vange water sold in all local chemists, priced at 2 shillings and 3 pence per bottle. In May 1923, Mr. Cash pursued a label action against Westminster Gazette, which apparently suggested that his well had run dry. Mr. Cash disclaimed this, as he supplied to visitors was limited to 10 gallons per day, so it also leaves 90 gallons for sale for chemists' shops. Westminster Gazette withdrew the action along with an apology and promised to pay towards the cost of the action. I didn't know that.
No.
I didn't know that. Two further wells had been sunk during the period of 1900 to 1923. Number 3 collapsed. Number 4 didn't yield any water. So a 5th and final well was sunk. Number 5 was successful, and an elaborate structure designed to give the impression of a domed classic temple-like made of brick and rendered with the domed roof was built with a head feature. I can't say that. The derelict remains, which still stands today. Just. The Vange Water Company ceased trading possibly in late 24. It was believed this was due to a suspended contamination of the waters that drained from the sanatorium from tuberculosis treatment of young people, mainly from the London area, slightly higher up the hill.
Yeah.
The sanatorium continued in use for some years after the cessation of the business by Mr. Edwin Cash. In 1931, Mr. Cash died and the land was sold to the proprietors of Croatia Salts. There's nothing really. In 1999, the Thurrock Heritage aimed to raise awareness of Thurrock's rich heritage and interfere the council.
Very good job of it.
Yeah, no, nothing really there to.
We have tried. We've tried our hardest.
So that's virtually all you sort of get on Mr. Cash to really get you. So is what we'll do is we'll just sort of run on sort of when we first we went to the location and we first come across Mr. Cash. I'll let you I'll hand over to Simon on this one, just because I think you made sort of first contact with Mr. Cash. And
Mr. Cash or the people that were working at the well at the time. I think it was more of a guy called Geordie, and this guy was a big black fella, and I'm massive, and he used to work on there, and you could hear him singing a very deep voice, and we've heard that on a couple of occasions. And he used to stand and do the pump, and me and my friend Joe have actually got really, really good voice recordings of the pump going one morning. But I think the first time we come across it was as we walked up to it, we didn't quite know how to get into it, did we? I can't remember if we actually got into the well or we had to go over. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember Geordie. I have no recollection of. See, my head goes to I never linked Geordie to the well.
Geordie was outside the well.
Yeah,
and
so that's why I can't.
First, yeah, but you will, because on our first event, that's who the guy saw and run from.
Was it him?
The light with the lantern. That was Geordie. But
I remember that incident.
Yeah, well, that was where he stood. That's where he stood guard.
What, at the top?
He was like Cash's right hand man. It's in many words about her. He looks after it.
Oh, see that's new. That's new to me because I never linked that person to the gentleman who not chased anybody off. She didn't, because I linked that to more Mom Taylor's end of things, because that's where it was saw.
No, that was down the bottom. We first saw it because we had to do a head count.
Yeah, but he saw it looking up towards Mom Taylor. We was down the bottom, and he saw it up towards Mom Taylor, running across that back line.
He saw it down towards. We did a head count.
No. He rung along that. He rung along sort of behind the well.
That's when he left. But we were talking about pipe music and the pipers.
Yeah, that's where they were playing down the bottom.
That's down the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, that's where they were playing.
Yeah,
and we was all looking
where Mark Taylor is.
Yeah, but that's where we was looking up, and that's where the light lantern, black cloaked figure.
No,
the black cloaked. the black cloak figure with the cloak on run across the top,
No,
and Adam had to go up and count?
no.
We're
Right,
gonna
I
have to,
wasn't
we'll
listening.
we'll have to
Right, I
disagree
wasn't
to agree
listening.
on that one because
Yeah, we're gonna have to disagree on that one.
that is definitely not how I remember it. Definitely not how I remember that one.
I wish you were on here, Ryan.
I can only remember.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah.
Yeah, I can only remember.
But that was Geordie anyway. That's where Geordie patrolled, was down the bottom part. Martin Taylor was definitely not Geordie's era. Definitely not.
Yeah, that's why I said I can't comment because it's two different memories that I got.
Yeah.
That's why I can't link it.
But I can't remember how we got in there. The only recollection of is when you said that his water was. That's when he first started playing silly arses. To be quite honest, that's when he really reacted. First off, bad, and yeah, it's got to be down the hill. It's got to be down the hill because we were up the hill and we heard we were looking down and the thudding was in the well. We were looking down the hill and the thudding was in the well when that guy ran off. You've got to remember that.
Yeah, but it's not in the location. We never run anywhere.
No, he did. He wanted to go. He wanted to get out as quick as we could. Yeah,
but I see. I remember the exact story, but just we're in just two different places. The two
rising. Right,
so
okay.
Because we was listening to the music playing, which I remember clearly.
Which was
I remember looking. Yeah, and we was all standing there.
I'll show you. Well, I can show you tomorrow. But anyway.
Yeah.
That was our first. And Ryan was with us, definitely.
Yeah, we was all there. Adam was there.
Not when we first. Was he there when we first found it?
Not when we first found it. I don't think.
Me, you, and Ryan walked it when we first found Cashy.
Yeah.
Right, do you remember that bit? Hi, Hattie.
I remember where we found it. I remember walking around the side. I remember our guide saying turn when we was looking up the hill, because obviously in the daylight you walk sort of around the side up the hill, because when you walk out you walk down the hill. I remember it was into my left hand side.
Right, okay.
When we went to first very, very, very find it.
Yes, yeah.
We never walked into it through the forest. We walked around the back.
Yes. Right, we're talking about when we first found Cash as well. I think it was me, you, and Russ.
Yes.
And then we're talking about the first event, but I'll ask you something in a minute on that one.
I don't know if we blogged it, did we?
I don't think we blogged we may have blogged the first. I don't know if we blogged the first event. I'm not sure, mate. Will we have blogged the first event?
Yes. Yes, after a short break, the group moved to a different area of the ruins. We got to use the dowsing rods and ask questions and speaking to the poacher, which we picked up on. Halfway through the questioning, Rob witnessed a detailed apparition move out from the well area.
The well area, exactly.
Yeah.
The well area, not
Marm
Taylor's area. Marm Taylor's up here.
Yes, but but that's what I'm saying. We were standing down the bottom, looking up to the well, and the light went behind the well, along that back line.
Okay, all right, okay.
Adam and Ryan performed a head count to see if anyone romped. Just after that, Simon and Russ both picked up on a presence in from the top of the area of the well. We both were all to be careful about that area. So we're telling him to be. We was down the bottom, looking up to the well, not down the bottom. It's not down the bottom, is it? It's sort of, you know, where the square bit is. Yeah. We were the other side of that, looking at the well. And that's where Adam had to go through this triangle. Adam had to go through the square bit to get to the well. and that's where he performed the head count. That's where Rob saw it at the what I would call, I don't know how to say it, behind. Not to say it was Mark, because Marm Taylor's more to the right.
We'll have a look and get this when we get this tomorrow.
Yeah, Marm Taylor's up to the right. But if you
Marm
sort
Taylor
of,
had nothing to do with the light. Marm Taylor had nothing to do with that light.
yeah. So, but I think different on that.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
That's, you know, I don't, because I thought
That's fine.
in my head, this is how I thought. Geordie, because Geordie was Geordie the one with the child, or with a woman with a child?
No, Abigail was with Cash. And
But he had
looked after the child. He was Cash's right hand man. So, but yeah, no, we remember that differently.
Yeah, and that's all it is. I'm just trying to read the blog, to be fair. Coming from the top area of the ruins, we were both warned to be careful. We all moved up to the area to witness, to hear and see. After a few questions, Russia picked up on a number of people moving around from all directions. Some of the group felt of claustrophobic. Simon picked up a form of worship. Rob believed that it felt like a place where people met, where we began to hear strange noises coming from around us. And the noises were distinctly coming from the well. Yeah. If it surrounded us, something was being thrown down the well. At this point, we felt uneasy, so we decided to call it a night and made our way back.
Well, it wasn't quite. It was Rob. I said, I want to get out of there.
Yeah, that was it.
Rob wanted to get out of there. Yeah.
Let's read. Let's read the top part of the event. Started around 10:20. We started our journey into the woods, into the ruins. Simon still had a presence with him. At this moment, Simon realised that this was spirit of Edwin Cash, who was following us. Russ called Edwin Cash's what time are we? Only our past. I called it shit. All right. Which upset Mr. Cash. Simon was informed by spirit that Russ should stop disrespecting his water. At this point, Mr. Cash stepped back. We decided to stop halfway through the ruins and call out and step forward. We believe the poacher and the children stepped forward. Russ and one member of the group, Sarah, both felt like they were going to fall. So we come to the conclusion that the presence spent a lot of their times in the trees, looking around, hunting. One group member started to have her handbag pulled. She felt like her bottom was being touched, which we believed was the son of the poacher who was playing games. Some members of the group saw a few shadows, lights and sounds. A member of the group also picked up on a hanging, different part of the woods. Simon confirmed that he also felt in previous visit. We moved to the site of the ruins where Mr. Cash made himself known to Simon. After Ryan gave the group a chat about the history, we made our way to the shell of the ruins. At this point, Mr. Cash was still not happy with Russ. The group performed a seance. Mr. Cash was present at the time. Russ asked for the group hands, and some were raised to the air. Some were even pushed aside. For through of the groups, they felt very cold, and that their hands that had gone numb. We also had some of the groups saying that they saw something moving around outside. The well outside, Mr. Cash was asking for payment using Adam. He threw in the money down the well. So I remember
when you get in that well, it's like something's looking at you from outside. Whenever you always.
Yeah, but I think do you not feel sometimes though that is the way it's set up? I think if you was to stand in, to
be quite honest, I think there was a lot more than just a bottling plant went on there. I think there was I think it was. a lot of women were taken there.
Yeah.
But I'm going back to the 1900s. I'm not going back before then. I think it was used as a.
But it had links to Hockley, I read, didn't it? Which I didn't know about.
I didn't know it links to Hockley.
Yeah. I've read it out. The mineral water was first attained, village, blah, blah, blah. The water was drawn, its time seemingly over. Hovell's Farm. I'm trying to. I can't find it. I read it out. It said Hockley Woods on it. I swear it did.
No, I didn't get Hockley.
It definitely had Hockley Woods. There, yeah, it did. Mr. Cash obtained a further analysis from the water of Dr. John Free, consulting medical officer of Heaven. The analysis of the water and the conjoined Hockley Spa.
Yeah, Hockley Spa was where there was a Hockley Spa, so it would have been like for what's the word, licensing the water. Basically, it wouldn't have been connected with the forest. It would just be a license from Hockley Water Treatment. So they would have tested the water and put their name to it, if you like. So
right, yeah, okay, yeah. I just saw Hockley Spa, and I just put two and two together. I never realised he sold it in chemists. So,
clear out juice.
Yeah, clear out juice. I do apologise. Right, let's catch up on some of the questions, guys. All right. Roland is in. I haven't heard that name for a long time. Good evening, Roland. No divorce coming, never going to happen. Will we be going around the tree again? We might be. It all depends how we get there.
Where we're told.
Who gets what though? I don't know that one. I've lost what Christian is saying. So depends if I have any left for a full week. Yeah, I don't know what he's going on about. Evening, Craig. Welcome. Wasn't there children around the log yet? Because that come from...
They come down from the sanatorium, right? The sanatorium ruined his water, if you remember. And there's a doctor, and that doctor still runs around there. And we didn't pick that up till much, much later. The doctor and the nurses used to bring, and we found a picture of the nurses that used to bring the children there, practically in the same place that we were sitting on that log, in those woods, in Martindale Woods. And it's actually, we've got a photo somewhere of that, and it listed some of the children's names. And Dr. Maybury, we didn't know at the time, would run because he was an Olympic runner. And I think he actually went into the Olympics in 1908 or 1904. He was a doctor in the sanatorium. They called it West Ham Sanatorium, although it was in London. But that was the story of that.
Yeah, because it has links to it, doesn't it? There's a lot of links out of London. London.
We got another really, and I think I took Misha and my daughter. And my daughter's there. We took her to a field. The sanatorium still stands, but it's a cattery now. So it's kittens, and you can walk round it. You can walk past it. We walked into this cornfield, and I think that was probably one of her first experiences. She actually heard the children's laughter and saw a child wave. So that was really good for her. So there are a lot of children present there.
Yeah, a hell of a lot of children.
In that woods, sometimes you can go to that woods and not even get to the well.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll start off. If we take a walk, let's do a little mini guided tour. Yeah, okay. To be fair,
well, let's go to the well then. Let's start in the well, work backwards.
Are you doing any ghost hunts soon? Oh yeah, we're at Cash's Well tomorrow night. All sold out, unfortunately, though. But if you go to www.essexghosthunters.co.uk, all the events are on there, Mr. C Lane. Okay, so just pop over to there and you can get all the information that you need. Okay, thank you ever so much. So I think the well in itself can be very odd.
I think different times of the year, to be quite honest.
And it's what I will say is though that the well itself, it gives you that creepy side of things. No matter how you look at it, no matter what you do, you're looking at a old well in the middle of a forest.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Tracy. Hiya, Tracy. How you doing?
I
No, back in I know Tracy. I know Tracy. Thank you for watching. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. To see you, nice. But I remember you know, just feeling that well and looking at it through the woods. It's weird. It's weird. And just to feel that you get this old derelict well in the middle of in a forest, you can't help but make it creepy.
Yeah, it's very atmospheric, isn't it?
Yes. So
And
sorry.
I think it's as you walk further on as well. How can I say it sort of goes in stages, and there's a deeper part of it where it takes your breath away, hanging. But that was nothing to do with the well. The well wasn't even there when that was going on. So that's another part of it.
Well, there's that comment. There is a witch's ritual spring in Whitford, but the church along a small bridleway, lots of items for practicing around the spring. It's local too, so Google it. One non-adult comment.
Okay, no, that's all right.
Jackie has said we come into the prison. Maybe not this year because we was there last year, but we may be going back soon next year. Kev is almost feel at home really looking forward to it. This is a different energy, Kev. This has got layers upon layers of this place.
Layers upon layers. Question, that witch's ritual spring, if you Google it, will you find, is it pretty, will you need local knowledge to get there? Or will we be able to find it if we went for a walk?
I'm wondering what he comes back with, but
Yeah,
but no, the atmospheric feel of Cash's Well is already there. The atmosphere is there. So as soon as you walk into it, it gives you gives you the EBGBs. There's a lot of energies that are historically around that place. We've had in this area. So say if I make it, the area of the well is 100 meters by 100 meters. Okay. Yeah. So to calm that one down, we've had, instruments being played. For what reason? Don't know. You can hear music. We've picked up on band. We've got a band playing there. We've got a mother looking for child. Yeah. We've got Geordie that is there. We've got, I'll put it on my terms because obviously Simon's Geordie is different to my Geordie, but we've got the lantern, we've got the Dark Cape lantern bloke that runs around with the light. And then obviously we've got Mom Taylor, which is there as well.
Probably not even her real name, but that's what we've called her.
Yeah. I don't
think we've ever known her real name. We've just got to know her as Mom Taylor. But this was coming from centuries back. Centuries back. It's not going to be Mom Taylor. It's going to be
But then we've also picked up on people being dragged there by horses, being dragged along by them.
Battle. We picked up on a battle there.
Yeah. Blood. And this is all just around the well area. You can cross the
scratches on her back.
Yeah.
God, and going into a deep trance, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it does do a hell of a bad thing. There's definitely an undercurrent of bad there. I do remember one team that are good friends to us. That one did an event there, and as they walked in, they witnessed witchcraft going on within the area of the well. So they've witnessed something going on there. And that's just around the well area. We're going to get to that bit on the way out, right? Because that's not till later on. That's near the entrance, that bit. But then that's the well bit, and it has darkness there. Darkness can easily reside there.
Yes.
I do think
We've taken darkness out of there, haven't we, on a couple of occasions?
But I do think there is. I'm just going to Google something because I need to get the name right before I say it, because I don't want to say it without I've got the wrong. That's right. Yes, that's it. That's the one I want to say. There has been a couple of groups. One particular group in particular have caught a great not an EVP, a picture in there of Baal, the demon, the demon.
Yeah.
In great, it looked quite, what I would say, quite a good resemblance to him, or whatever. The pictures that we see of Baal, the demon, you do see a good resemblance to that way. So we've got real deep underlying undercurrent of horror there.
Yeah.
And obviously if witchcraft is being done there,
I think it's probably still practiced, definitely. 100%.
We don't know what witchcraft is going on, but the stuff that we've done and been doing about is very much is very, very dark. It's very, very dark, beyond dark, and that's the weirdest thing. And then some days we've been there and it's been quite nice. So
we've had a cracking laugh with Jason. There's a spirit called Jason there.
Yeah, but that's not near the well, is it?
No.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm talking, we're on the well base at the moment. We've had Edwin, who can definitely be nice
when he wants to.
Yeah, but he's not nasty, is he? There's nothing nasty about him.
No, there isn't. But do you remember the thuds that come out of it that night? The bangs. That was one of our very early events. I don't know if it was the same one. But it was with the group of people that I think you're talking about. And then big thuds come from that well. And I'm talking not just a little tap, it was... Remember that?
Yes. Oh.
It was Mrs.
No, I must admit...
At that point, we were up where Mom Taylor was, looking down on the well. And the thuds that come out of there were unreal.
Yeah, no, I can't remember that. I can't remember the thuds. We've had some awesome seances there.
Yeah, brilliant. And we've also got I won't go too much into that actually, because that's a very sad story, but there is a very sad story. They're about trainers.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into that because that's
very,
very recent. That's still recent and not nice. So.
Yeah. No, but we've had some great seances there where people get pushed to the ground, and it's not always necessarily Mr. Cash that does it.
No.
It's definitely not Mr. Cash that does it all the time. but you know, people have been pushed to the floor, their hands have been raised in the air, rocked and things like yeah, it's pushed us out the well.
Yeah.
All of us together.
Which
So
is unusual.
Yeah. So the actual well itself is sort of, you know, it holds so many different energies in there, and just depending on what happens on the night, you know, it could be, you know, it could be a nice. I'm hoping it's a nice evening tomorrow. It's not dark, and the good stuff comes through tomorrow night, and it's all nice and yeah. But we can now, you know, that's the well bit. That's all the little bits in the well. Now we can come outside of the well. We can come down by the bridge, okay, where we talk. You know, where now I don't know if this links or not. I can't remember off the top of my head. You know,
a lot of people with breathlessness, the breath goes choking.
Well, that's where
Duncan cough.
But then there was also that a lot of people get called to the spirit that comes from underneath the well.
Yeah.
Not underneath the bridge.
Yes.
But I can't think of her name.
It's not Abigail, because I think Abigail's in the well. She's in the well with Cash.
I can't think of what the name is, but a lot. It's look, it's a bit of a strange one, and this is the one I don't like. It's the one I don't like, and it's along the lines where the French, the energies, the 4 French energies reside, but at the top of the hill, isn't it? And then they come down, and
that cloaked. There's a lot of cloaked.
Yeah, and the lady or the female energy that. It's like a seduction sort of thing. It only catches a couple of people.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, oh, don't get lured in. Yeah. Because once you've heard it and seen it, it's almost like you can't let go of it.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
I think it was Vicky from Class. Do you remember Vicky from Class? And was it her son?
And Joe.
Yeah.
Joe got taken by it.
Yeah.
I think Mrs. A did as well. I know we had the little guy that come with us. He got taken by it, Little John or whatever his name was. And remember we had the private event there as well with the drama students, and 2 of them also got taken. Not taken by it. I'm using the words too strong there. But sort of fell for the spell.
Yeah, they must have been. Yeah, and those drama students, they've come to ice with us. Remember?
Yeah.
They come once and they asked us to do it again because they couldn't quite believe it. I think they thought the first time they came it was staged and all that, but when they saw what it was and that we didn't stage things and couldn't quite work it out, and I think we've been there as well, Russ, with a couple of reporters, if you remember, that couldn't quite believe it.
Yeah, well, we've done quite a few reporters there, to be fair.
Yeah.
We've done a few, you know, we've done obviously, you know, Name Clang, Jarvis Cocker, Gemma Collins.
Yeah.
No, you wasn't there for that one, and you wasn't there for the Essex Live interview as well, I don't think. You wasn't there for that one. I think he was on holiday, I think, for that one. That's where our ugly mug's all over Essex Live. But no, but this it does, and you know, I know you're saying it, but it is that sort of energy, Christian. Very much so that people hear her voice and they can't break what they're hearing, and she doesn't let them go until you get right out of the area. And it you know, people just stand there looking at the bridge, underneath the bridge. It is very much a weird a weird situation.
It's a weird place because tomorrow we could go there and it could be lovely. It could be filled with a lovely energy. We could have a great ghost hunt and sort of all have a great seance and all sort of interact. And on other occasions, you'll go there and it will be that almost 4 of you are going to look out and watch while the others do the thing in the well, because it can be it can be intimidating at times. It can be. I mean, don't you think?
I think it can be.
Yeah,
I think it can very much.
The red eyes. I mean, that was very early days as well.
Yeah, but that would go along that demonic side of things.
Yeah, and I don't say we run, but we moved pretty sharpish out of there, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah,
I wouldn't
but
say we run because we didn't. I think. I don't know, but
it sort of followed you around, though, didn't it? It followed you around that woodland area.
Yes. Never let you go. It never.
Yeah.
Let you go.
And the bit that the bridge bit is the bit that really does make me
And
creep.
it's like a crossroads as well, isn't it? There.
Yeah.
Like the crossroads is there. So.
But as soon as you get the energies, the four energies that come down from the top of the hill, that is the issue. When that starts to happen, you have to be on your guard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because they come and bring a real overpowering energy. It's not, you know, we know when there's different energies around and when there's different this, that, and the other. But these ones are the ones that really, yeah, but it's overpowering as well.
Yeah.
Once all 4 of them are in the area, it almost feels like there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Like a wood, it's like a woods, like no other woods we do.
Yeah, it is. I can't think of any other wood that is as, you know, we've done obviously Bergholt and Hockley and what? Sorry,
Argafen.
Yeah, Argafen.
They're all good. Don't get me wrong; they're all good. But this seems to, I don't know. It's Cashie's. I always say Cashie's is always giving.
Yes,
it always gives you something, and
yeah, definitely, and it's a place that I believe that you can feel every part of your sense.
Yes.
Going.
Yeah, you can.
That's how it makes me feel.
Yeah, yeah. Put it this way: you have to use all your senses.
But you have to use all your senses, but it will make you.
Yeah, challenge you.
I won't say senses. How do I put it? You could go there and feel. I think you could feel all different types of energies within the spectrum of the paranormal world.
Yes, you can go in there. You can hold a hand. You can go in there. You can smell a smell. You can go in there. You can hear things. You can go in there. You can see things.
Yeah, we'll check it out. We've got the link. Thank you, Christian.
Cheers.
We've got it.
Brilliant.
We'll check back on that later on. All right. But no, what I'm saying is when you go into there, you can feel happiness by good energies. When you go in there, you can feel sad energies. When you go in there, you can sense evil energies. You can go in there and potentially cross necks with a demon energies. You can physically be attacked in there, like which we've had. Yeah. You've been chased, not chased out there. The only thing
Been quick.
that I can't. But that's what I'm saying. It's the only place that I feel that we can go and you get all them types of energies. We go from witches to demons to humans to, children. You can feel all the paranormal spectrum fields within one area. There's not too many places
No.
that you can go where that happens. You can go and place and feel good and bad,
Yeah.
but can you really go to a place you can say the only thing that I won't put, and I will say it, and you can't, I can't put in Cash's well is extraterrestrial.
No.
Don't think I've ever come across. I think Argafen is the extraterrestrial location.
100%.
But Cash's is spiritual. Cash's is a what I would say a ghost hunter's dream. A paranormal investigator's dream, because it's all there for you. If you look, you can find.
And it's all different eras. You go through a lot of different eras there as well, like different time stages.
Yes,
you can be right up to date with certain stories there. You go back to the 60s with certain stories there. You can go back to 1900s, 1800s with certain stories there. Then further back, and further back. So many in a short space of, I wouldn't even say you probably walked maybe a mile and a half round trip.
Yeah,
2 miles.
Definitely. And it is just an area of heightened energy. Very much so. And we've done probably just one half of that place.
Oh, yeah.
We don't even go across the other side of the road.
When
We
we
walked it.
Yeah, but when we did, look what happened. You remember the night we went and we were getting all that smoke around you?
Yeah.
That was the other side of it.
Yeah. But we don't go to that side.
No, we don't. We don't. I do. I thought that quite a lot. Because I go and find that's where the sanatorium is. So I go past the sanatorium quite a lot and come down the other way. And you can see how it would have run into his water source. You can see how it goes.
And that's the amazing bit of it. And let's let's change the tact a little bit. We've talked about the dark stuff and everything. Now we go to what we call the log. Okay, the tree with the log. And you got two stories there.
But before you get to the log, isn't it? Actually,
no, because we're walking backwards.
Oh, we're walking backwards. Okay, the log.
We've gone from the well to the bridge to the log.
You've got the log is where the children were brought down, and funny enough, the children you'd never find the children by the well, wherever they were kept. Whether the sanatorium nurses said to them, "You can never go down by the well because of the stream." I don't know, because of the river. I don't know, but they were never allowed. They come a certain way, and you could walk out a certain way. And on certain parts of that, if you ever want to feel spirit hand holding, daylight as well, it's a fantastic place to go and feel it. And you will also you'll also sometimes see, if you're that way, you will sometimes see George Maybury run, and you will see him looking after the children. And there's a nurse there called, I think her name is Ruth. That's ignorant of me, but she was one of the main nurses. And again, we've got a picture of her working in 1904 in that sanatorium. So you will get that. That's the log. Sometimes sometimes they come and play. Sometimes they're not there. It all depends, again, on the woods, I would say.
But that's what that's the part of the area that I feel is nice.
Yes. Yeah.
I know it's got sadness around it.
Yeah, and I mean, Jason is probably, and I don't mind saying it, Jason is probably one of my greatest spiritual friends I ever met anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be honest, and now he doesn't come there now very much. I still feel his presence there because we crossed into where he needed to be and who he needed to be with. That's what we did. And since we've done that, he's gone. But the early days of when we took groups of people down there and, they began to feel exactly what he felt, and you could smell his aftershave quite clearly, and everybody named it. And before we even said anything, you could smell, not being funny, but piss. You could smell beer. He would tell you the kind of music he liked, and he would have EMFs going left, right, and centre. Absolutely brilliant place to be. But then I think in one of our things there, I think he'd gone. So I think, and we were still trying to communicate, is where the girl ripped. Do you remember she ripped the top off in there? Because something was. Do you not remember?
No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah, she literally had to rip her top off because somebody was fiddling with her. But that's where he would come in and pull your hair, pull your hat, pull a handbag, and he would interact. And he was a lovely spirit. Absolutely lovely spirit. And with a very sad story. He died there. He died there. He was beaten up, and they didn't mean to take it that far, but it went that far, which is such a shame. Again, and we're not going back. I'm only going back probably 60s, definitely 60s, because he'd seen his team win a cup, so it had to be the 60s because I ain't much after that.
But no, I do. I do. It's that area is probably one of the most easiest areas to sort of keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Make sure it's all nice, make it all nice and easy.
But we've had strange things happen there, though, that might have changed it as well. Because do you remember that night that we were... Jason, I think, was still there, but there was... I don't know what they were practicing at the back. There was people... Yeah, they weren't over there for nothing, that's for sure. All right, they might have been high and off their heads, but...
You're talking about the living?
Yes, yeah. I'm talking about the living, yeah.
Yeah, I think they were just camping, mate. I don't think they were doing anything untoward. I think they just...
I don't know.
They were probably just getting drunk and doing dodgy drugs. So that was over there. But no, the base, obviously, behind the tree there, you've got the Three Stooges that come in that, don't do very nice things.
Yeah, somebody on a horse, isn't it, as well? It's not very nice.
Yep. But pretty much that area there is all copeable. What I would call, manageable.
Yes.
And then we move up to the gate area. The gate area.
Suss out that gate area, didn't it?
Yes.
It did.
Yeah.
It took some time. It took probably, I don't know, it probably took me 10 to 15 journeys again on my own. With obviously Joe, with yourself, with Ryan, just taking it in. But then we finally got to the story, and it was all about the Krays, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think they did it, but they certainly. Well, I won't say it because we might have people coming tomorrow that I don't want to tell the story of. But they did something that wasn't very nice. They acted out on somebody there that will change their life. To be honest, didn't take their life, it changed it.
Yeah, but that was sort of like the Krays never really got their hands dirty. I don't think, did they? So,
and it
they probably did.
Because I first thought they used Epping Forest, but then it wasn't till I started to learn a bit about Plotlands, and then it all made sense because Plotlands is not very far as the crow flies from Cashies, and Plotlands was a place that they set up, and then after the war, bringing people down to London. They were all bungalows, and you had a posh side and you had a cheap side. There's only one bungalow that still remains in Plotlands to this day. You can't walk around it. But Krays were running a racket there, which is literally, a mile down the road.
But I reckon in the day that you would have been able to walk from Potlands to there
Yeah, yeah, of course you would.
because it wouldn't have been. You wouldn't have had them houses too much in the way. There wouldn't have been them. You'd had a few houses, I'm assuming, but nothing.
I
In
don't
the-
think there's many houses there, Russ, to be quite honest, because they built. That's what they built. And then it was like all like prefabs and all that. And you
Yeah.
bought your plot of land down there.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have been. It would have been, you know, you would have been definitely been able to walk it from where.
Yeah.
Been a bit of a. It would have been a trek, but you would have got there quite easily. But you've also got to remember that the A13's been there for a few years. You know, you think how far that is off the A13, and you know, we're not.
It was all like, forests and that. It's like you imagine how many bodies are buried in those forests. Epping, Cash as well.
Epping, I get because it's got the history of it.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at the places like Cash as well, that not too many people knew about, you think how far that is off the A13. That's less than seconds off the A13.
That's why they did it.
Yeah. And that's an easy place to get to.
Yeah.
You know, them roads would have all been there that have been in them times. So you do get it. It's a very manageable place for what sort of went on.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sitting there and saying the Craigs walked in that place. I'm not. But do I feel that their energies of their certain friends that may have walked in the Platte with their famous names and that there's a good potential of it.
Yeah.
And you're not, you're literally only what 15, 20 minutes in a clear run from Cash's Well to probably, East London.
Oh, definitely.
Maximum 20 to half hour.
Yeah, well, these days, because of the traffic, those days, there weren't the traffic.
It was just a straight line.
Yeah, it was.
Would have been a straight line all the way down. So I do get all that feeling there. And I think that's nice there because it gives you a bit of context of the actual place itself.
Yeah. But it's funny how we found that sort of after. It's as you walk it, and I'm sure we've still got other things to find.
I think you've got a lot to find there. I think you really have. I think you definitely have. I think there's you could, how many, we don't even walk past the well.
No.
And what about that night? What about that night where we got waved by the little child at the top on the outside of the well?
Yes. Yeah.
And we all nearly followed it, but we all got told, not to.
I think that was the day we saw the red eyes. I think that might have been the same time, actually.
Could have been the same night. Sea Lane, they buried bodies everywhere along there. They found bodies under the flyover in Dagenham next to the old Lego flats.
I'm not surprised. It was, people disappeared in those days. And not only that, those sort of peoples and those sort of organisations, because the Craigs weren't the only ones, but the organisations there had the police in the pocket.
Yeah.
The police would turn a blind eye to it. Unfortunately, or fortunately.
No, it's just a weird situation.
Yeah.
It's a very, very strange situation.
It's a strange place. It is a strange place. Times it can be. Most times, I would say. Well, I've walked to you. I've walked in there to find you and a group of people.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'd have done that on a bad night. So we must have been having a good night that night.
Yeah, but is it in context of that? You knew that you had an end destination.
Yeah.
If you didn't know we was in there, then that could have been a different story, and I would have been the same. I think if I know where someone is, I know you didn't know exactly where we were,
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
but but there was still some strange, and yeah, it's a weird place, and I think you're right. I think it would have had you'd have been more on your guard if you felt
Yeah, if it had been
threatened.
if it had been not, I'm not saying that by bad night. What I mean is if it had
If
been
there's something was a
Yeah.
lurking
ready for it.
night, yeah,
And I
Yeah,
think
no,
we had that last time we went when we were around that tree. 'Cause that tree, what Steph's talking about, was. Do you remember that?
I can remember what went on. I can remember the seance, and I can remember things like that, but I can't exactly
what we
remember
got.
the story because there
No.
was another lady with us, wasn't there? There was another lady with us, and I can't.
Steph. There was Steph's friend.
Yeah, but there was another lady with her son, I think.
Yes, and there was two girls. I can't remember their names, Claire and somebody else, but
Katie and Jess.
yes, there was Katie and Jess. There was Steph and Wendy.
There you go. There were groups of women circling us. They may have been witches.
That's it.
But I can't remember the exact reason for it, though, Steph. What was the... And that's
think-
weird.
They all couldn't let go of the tree.
But that was around the tree, though.
Yeah, but none of them could let go of it.
But we was a seance around the tree, so we wouldn't have been touching the tree.
I don't remember.
Or was we seancing it around the tree?
I don't think we were sciencing it around the tree. I can't remember us sciencing it around the tree. You've got to put a light on.
But I can remember... I can remember people having to turn around and face outwards.
Yes. Yeah, that was it. They were having to turn around and face outwards, and then they face inwards. I don't get. I can't remember what it was, but I know it went on for a hell of a long time. Yeah.
We had hands holding around the tree. They were, yeah, it was a seance. We did do a seance.
Mm. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, I think, and that's what I cut.
But didn't we see like a witches thing before we got to that tree?
Yeah, it was there for a while, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Been there for a while.
No, wasn't it a fresh one?
No, I'd seen that.
I'm sure there was a fresh one.
I'd seen that another clang when we took Barry Guy round. When we took Barry Guy around the forest.
Can't remember, but
that was there then. Yeah, it's been there. That was there for a while. It was there. It wasn't a fresh one. It had been there for a while. But it was weird. It was a camp, wasn't it? But it did look very witchy-fied.
Yes.
In itself.
Yeah, it did.
It looked very witchy-fied and like a teepee sort of thing. So, but it is what it is with Cash as well. It is an experience more than anything, and then it has the depth of everything there as well. So we shall see tomorrow what it brings. But I'll ask you the question, Simon. What is your most memorable, in-depth experience? That one that always keeps you there.
Keeps me there. Keeps me there.
I've just got to leave for a couple of minutes. All right, guys, I'll be back in a second.
The one that I would say keeps me there was probably Jason, because for probably about 6-7 ghost hunts at least, Jason would always perform, so I knew when we got to the log, he would run amongst us, would mess about, would give us probably half an hour of his time. And yeah, that's the most memorable. Selfishly, I didn't want him to go, but knew he had to. So that was sad, but very memorable. And then the children are always very memorable. Going past the sanatorium, I've walked it nearly every way now. So I think we were going to try and write to the cattery to see if they'd let us in there, but obviously they probably wouldn't because it's a boarding cattery, so we probably wouldn't get in there. But yeah, the sanatorium children were very good, and finding photos. And we do a class on Sunday, and we actually, Ryan, who's on the chat, we wanted to find a picture of Edwin Cash. Now we still don't know who Edwin Cash is because there's a lot of people in this photo, but it came all the way from America. We actually found a photo. There's none others of when he was walking across the fields towards the bottling plant with a picnic basket, and there was a couple of cars parked there. So again, that's probably memorable. The memorable group was probably the one where there's a couple, but the one I would say was probably one of our first groups when it all did kick off in the well, and we had to get somebody out of there quick. I don't know how much you heard of that, Russ.
I didn't hear.
I said probably mine was Jason, and the relationship I struck up with a spirit in for 6 or maybe 7 ghost hunts, and then finally having to let him pass over and release him. Was very, I don't know, that was good. And then I was just going to and then the sanatorium children, because I've nearly walked every inch of that sanatorium without getting in there.
Yeah,
I suppose it would be that. And then the best event, I would either say it was the claw marks down the girl's back, or when Rob went out of there. A great big butch bloke like Rob went out of there very, very quickly.
It's a great location. It is a really good location. My favourite, I think I have to go with the seance when it pushed us out the door of the well.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the most, it didn't want us in that well, and it pushed us all out of that. I think that was quite good. I'm pretty sure that Mark Jones got pushed over, nearly pushed down the well.
I think
that was
a couple of people got pushed.
We've got it somewhere. We've got the photo somewhere. We still don't know who it is and which one it is yet. But for everybody listening on Pulse Talk Radio, it's
going to be very good radio, but
down. No one can see it. Up. Come that way. The other way. Now go up. Now go in. That's it. We don't know quite who is. Hold on, let me put you on full screen. Can I do that so everyone can see? Let's see if that. Yes, it. So that is the like what we would say is now when you'll see it, but we are not too sure who is Mr. Cash in this picture. There is another picture around somewhere. I do believe is online somewhere that does describe who these people are, but I've never been able to find it again. But this picture would sort of make you believe that the person in the middle is Mr. Cash. but I don't think that's the case. I might be wrong, but I don't quite know. All right.
Cheers.
There we go. I'm back. But yeah, I can't. It's
Really weird.
there is definitely of there's a bottle still in full tact somewhere out there as well.
I'd love to get that, but that bloke won't sell it.
No, but it did.
Anybody knows anybody with a Cash's Well bottle? Please let us know. And in fairness to us, we have tried to save Cash's. We've tried to do everything we can. But one day.
Yeah,
And I don't know how you'd save it anyway, because it's in the middle of the forest, so you're never going to stop vandalism.
no, you're not.
You're not.
You're not. That is the sad thing about it. To be fair, that is a sad thing about it. Found the receipt. Photo is from 1922.
Yeah.
That was near the end of the reign, then, wasn't it?
No, was it?
Yeah,
He died in 1931, didn't he?
yeah.
Two further wells between 1900 to 1923. He ceased trading in 1924. So
that would have been near the end of it.
Yeah.
2 years before the end of it.
mind you, it didn't start to the 20s. So yeah, it was back midway.
But no, it's a very, very interesting. Even if you get over there to have a little walk, guys, and have a little wander around it yourself, I think it's very much a great little wander for you. And if you want to go at night time, go at night time.
Yeah. What was the microwave?
The microwave was found in the well, wasn't it? We've had a microwave, a printer, TV.
Yeah.
It's there.
But didn't you see two blokes walking out with something or other?
Oh, we've seen loads. You've seen loads in there. I'm just trying to see if I could see if we can get a picture of Edwin Cash, but it's so hard to.
I know.
It's so hard to. But there is definitely pictures out there, because I know that Thurrock website have them.
Get in touch with them.
There's definitely a picture out there of him on it. So we got that in 2015. There's a big copy somewhere behind me, a big A3 copy somewhere. But no, that is where we're off to tomorrow night. So that's a little bit of history into that and how we sort of, we look forward to it and everything like that. So for the last half hour of the show, guys, I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm going to hand it over to the listeners on all the platforms, YouTube, Facebook, on Pulse Talk Radio. You've got a mobile number there. So if you want to give a call in, you can do. It's coming up along the bottom of my screen any minute. And ask us any questions. If we don't have any questions, we'll have an early night. It's simple as that. So it is 07487331688 if you want to send a message in via WhatsApp or text message. But if you just want to put your question in the chat, that's great. Pop it in the chat. If you can ask us absolutely anything that you want. So ask away, ask any questions, or not to say, it sounds like I'm going to blackmail you, but don't. But why I've got, while you're all thinking of your questions, we'll do a bit of quick plugging. If you want to pop down to see us at White Elm Garden Centre, guys, you can come and see us at Cyrus Spiritual Connections. You can, if you can't get down to the shop, you can visit us at www.cy-rust.co.uk. The shop is also online as well. So yeah, it's at White Elm Garden Centre, CM3 4LR. You can have a little look around. It's got all from oracle cards, crystals, incense, journals, skulls, you name it. Not real skulls, by the way, guys. I don't sell dead skulls. But no, pop down and see us.
Dug up in cash as well.
Yeah, probably. But no, if you've got any questions that you want to ask us, guys, please pop it in the chat. If not, we will have an early night. It's as you know, we're looking forward to tomorrow night. So you know, if no one's got any questions, I don't know if you've got anything that you want to talk about, Simon.
Not really, mate. I just think that we are, good to go tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Can't remember the last one we've done there.
It was I don't know. It did come up on my thing just a minute ago. What's any great tours planned in 2024? I think I'm going to come to London again. Oh, Heidi, there'll be a big reveal coming up soon. We have got about 3 already planned in. We've got 2 brand new, 3 brand new ones that we've never done before.
To us,
to us. And so that one is in the cards. Are they? No, they're not in London, though. They're not in London. But they are very well. One of them is very famous within the paranormal field, within the UK. But the other one I've never heard of, and the other one I've never heard of. So no, we look forward to them. But there'll be a big reveal.
I think we've got a couple still in the pipeline that we're trying to get as well. So
yeah, I don't know if we're going back to anything that we said we would. Can't think we're going back to anything that we've done. The 3 that we've put in on the website will be brand new ones to not to say they've been the first people to do it, but we are the first. Essex Ghost Hunters first as well. So whatever we get on the night will be what you get as well, guys. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But we'll do a big reveal anyway. Probably will be around the end of August time for that. Around about the 1st of September, the first show in September will probably be the big reveal weekend for that. So we will let you know then. But yeah, you know, I don't look like there's any questions that anyone wants to ask us. It seems great. We must be doing a good job that no one wants to ask us any questions. I need to visit the shop again.
Heidi, you're more than welcome. We've got a few more bits in there. We've squeezed a few more shelves in there along the way. Don't think we can squeeze much more in there, but if there's a space comes available, I'll squeeze something in it.
But no, it'd be nice to see you again if you do pop over in August and September. The weather's nice then. I don't know what events we've got in August and September. Do you? I don't.
What, this next year?
Yes, this year. I don't know. Next year. No, I don't know next year. None of the new ones don't fit within that one, I don't think. We got one. Oh, no, because one's at the beginning, one's at the end of that one. I don't know where the other one fits in. If you could get me talking. I can't
remember what the other one is.
Yeah, well, don't even think about it, because if we spit it out, then it's not a big reveal, is it? So I know them off the top of my head. So I don't know the dates. I wouldn't even have a clue what the dates were.
I'm still looking every day anyway.
So, but no, it seems to be all good in the hood. There's no questions. So we must be doing something really good. Terry's late. Terry's late. Better late than never. Better late than never. You got any questions for us, Tel? You got any questions for us? If you got any questions, let us know. We got the last half hour of the show, and we're throwing it over to you.
I haven't had anything from Ryan to say do that.
That's this year, Susan.
Yeah.
That's this year.
Yeah.
That's
We're
this
going
year.
2024.
I think, yeah. But there's a lot of new ones coming in 2024.
Yeah.
So we've got a bit of travelling to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
I think we're doing a couple of Essex ones, aren't we? Or are we not?
I don't think we've got anything booked yet. I think we've only got 3 booked, and they're not associated with Essex at the moment in time. So, but no, yeah, I don't know what. I can only think of 3 that we've got booked. So,
We must have more than that because we start. I don't know. It's when you need Mrs. A or Kim, isn't it?
yeah.
But
But
not
no.
giving it away, just to say, yeah, we've got 6 booked, and then we could
we've
really
only-
scratch out.
I'm pretty sure that I've only paid 3. So yeah, that's my highlight. But no, if you've got no questions, guys, we can have an early night. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. But well,
Anybody
someone
joining us at Catch as well tomorrow, I'm just going to say, get yourself some midgy spray or something, because you will get bloody bitten alive.
yeah, it's going to be Oxford jumper.
Yeah, and I'm not going to wear shorts because I
Get bitten alive.
write a book, guys. I have started, Ryan. I actually have started.
But it'll never get finished.
It probably will never get.
It will never get finished.
I have done the early years. I've done the early years, and I do need people's input. So that's
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking of. I have done. I've done about. Do you know I've done probably 100 pages.
Well,
I have.
I'd love to write a book, but I just haven't got the. I've got to have what do they call it? Someone. I've got.
Yeah,
I'd have to speak
share
it out loud. I'd have to speak it out loud for someone to write it down. Because
Yeah,
I
right,
could.
I could share what I've got actually, because then people will be able to help me to continue from where I go. My memory's not good.
We know that.
Yeah, but you see, what I was using was the blogs to get me to remember, and the blogs seem to stop. We don't seem to blog anymore, and that was it. Yeah, it does need a ghostwriter to Terry, but it'll probably be called Simon.
That's it. Ghostwriter. That's it.
That's
Definitely. I definitely need someone who can ghostwrite. So if anyone wants to ghostwrite for me, then yeah, quite easily. I think you have a lot to say in a book, the both of you.
Yeah, we probably have.
Dictation, you can do it on your phone, Russ. Yeah, I was thinking of seeing it back in the old days that Microsoft used to have a thing that you could put over a microphone that connected to the computer, and you could just talk to it and used to write. I do believe that Macs have it built in, but you have to virtually spell everything out word for word, and it doesn't continue as to something like that. But no,
it probably comes up like it does when you do it on the.
There must be a program out there that does it, but there's a ghost writing program out there that you just record your things you want to say, can write it down in a book. Maybe me can write it down in a book.
Yeah.
But it's just doing it, Heidi. My brain works on different level to just randomness, because what I want to say and how it sounds is just 2 different things. Did I actually start writing a book? Probably.
Yeah, I think
but I don't know if I did or not. I can't remember if I did.
Don't know mine is probably on here actually. It's probably on the Mac.
I don't think I would have even.
What's
I
the
don't think.
title? So I can't. Right. I can't remember what the title is. I'm just starting to write the book.
Yeah,
In the Word documents, you probably will find it in the Word documents.
not in my. I wouldn't think it's in my one, but where would I have saved it to? Where?
Let's go have a look here.
I don't know what I would have saved it to be fair. Oh, I've opened something. Okay, look. Well, I've got an introduction and I've got how it all started. I don't know how long I wrote this, so I'll read you. I will read you my story. This is when was this last modified? This was the 3rd of the 11th, 2017. So that's when I started. All right. So this is the start of my book. All right. The introduction.
Once upon a time.
Yeah. Well, what can I say? I'd never sat here and said in my early years I'll be writing a book. But here we go, and so it begins. My name is Russ. I've been working in the paranormal field for over 17 years now. I'm a founding member of a team called the Essex Ghost Hunters. We have run the events for the past 9 years. So why do you need to know that? I hear you ask. Well, you're correct. You don't. I could have been working in the field for over 50 years and it wouldn't make no difference. Just like many others, we have found watching more TV and YouTube videos and their Facebook lives. There was one thing that I took from watching the paranormal feeds and Netflix playing, how the field has become incredibly bitchy. So it's inspired me to write this book, a book about the paranormal that is in only my view. I wouldn't and will never claim to be an expert in this field. Yes, I have experience, but have never become an expert. How can you? There is no book to follow. There is no right or there is no wrong. How we connect to the world of spirit. That leads me back to what the paranormal world is so bitchy. Everyone has an opinion on how it's got to be done instead of accepting that they have to bring people down because that's not how they see it. They have been taught a certain way and that's their gospel and that's how it should be done. But that's their opinion. Like this book, it's just my opinion on the paranormal. And I make at the end of the book, you don't agree with me? That's what I've said. So please, how you see it, rather than telling me I'm wrong, as I'm not wrong, we just see it differently. That's how I started.
Russ found mine. How many pages has it got, right? 88 through years, mine's called. There you go. It's quite good.
Yeah.
That's quite good. So perhaps we should. Perhaps it's time.
Yeah, perhaps it is time. I need time is what's the word? The right word there.
Yeah, time is of the essence.
The thing is, if I could plug it into my head like a jackpot and then it picks up on my brain waves, then I would be all right.
Do you see that thing that
I've got
them caves? I said it to Ben.
Yeah, I've seen them a long time ago.
They look bloody brilliant.
They were found a long time ago, wasn't they? But
yeah,
there's also Templar caves as well found in that area as well.
Yeah,
some bloke in the back garden.
But it looked really good in there, mate. It looks really good in there. But
it's privately owned, isn't it?
It's on private land, but you can get in there.
Yeah, I'm not going to go all the way up. I'm not going to go all the way up.
If you said to the farmer, it's on farmer's land. But if you said to him and crossed his palm with silver, he'd probably let you go in there. It's no harm to him, is it? Yeah, look at that, Russ.
138 pages.
Yeah. It's all in Calibri, size 30. It's 2 words to a page. No, I'm joking.
Well, if you just make the font a little bit bigger, you'll probably get 300 pages out of it. So you got your first book.
No, because I'm only up to about 2015, 16 maybe. I can't remember what year I got to, but that's when I started to need. I needed the events. I didn't need the blogs. I needed the events and couldn't work out how to find event by event by event by event. And that's what I needed. And if I could do that, then I'd probably sit in the shop and do it.
I could probably find you event by event by event. I don't know how far. I don't know how far I could go back.
What chat?
Huh?
He sent it to the chat.
What? Sent what to the chat?
The book.
Oh yeah. Draft.
Yeah, but it's going to be a draft.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm going to get back into this. I'm going to get back into this because I quite liked it.
I think up to 2014.
Right. Well, then I need every event 2014 onwards.
I don't know if I can get you to I don't know if I can get you to 14, but
right. Is there any way I could go back on EGH and look at, say, every event from 2015 to date? Not in any detail, but what we did and what date we did it. How I'm going to remember it, I don't know. But
that's another thing.
And that's a different matter. That is a different matter.
I couldn't tell you. But what can I get you back to? I can get you back to the 13th of the 2nd, 2016.
Okay, that'll probably do then.
I can get you back to then. And that starts off at Chelmsford Museum. Chelmsford Museum, Cobham Lodge, Landguard Fort, Stamford Mill, Rougham Airfield, Toll House, Amherst, Coal House, Bunker, Cobham, King's House, Fort Widley, Amherst, Rougham, Millhouse, King's House, Casheswell, Whiteweb.
Millhouse. I've got Kelvin and Bunker on the 26th of September. So I'm in 2015, yeah?
Yeah.
And I've got Harwich Fort was 21st of February.
What, Harwich?
21st of March is Coal House Fort.
In 15?
Yeah.
I haven't got 15, so I couldn't even tell you.
So it's 6, well, I have. So all I need now is 2016 onwards. It'd be brilliant.
Well, yeah, I've got that.
Okay.
I've got that. I don't know if I can print it, but I probably can somehow. I don't know. I'll have a look and see if I can. I'll see if I can print it out for you.
Right.
And you can have that.
Right. If you get a chance, have a read and see what you think.
Well, Kim said she wanted to read it.
Yeah, I've sent it to Kim. I'll send it to Kim through here.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only got what's from 13th of 2016. Terry has got a question off topic. I know, but have you guys ever investigated the Haunted Cemetery in North Weald, Epping?
No.
No. We've been to North Weald. We're going to North Weald.
Yeah.
Kim,
I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, you can read it, Kim. You can read it. I've got this book to read. For anyone who wants a good book, A Life of Supernatural Events by a lovely Heidi Hansen, Part 3. So you can go grab that at Amazon. But yeah, no. Well, we're all good, guys. We're all good. No, have I investigated? No, I don't quite know where it is. We've got the Northfield Railway Station. The one in we've been to the one in Epping Forest, haven't we?
I can't
We've been to the cemetery in the church in Epping Forest.
Yeah.
We've been to that one. I don't know if that's the one. I don't know that one. I don't know if that's the actual. That's creepy as hell. That's where we met Abercrombie.
That's not the cemetery. Right, could you send that to Kim, please?
You can do it. Just forward it. I'll do it. Kim, it's on its way.
You need to read it tonight and tell me what you think tomorrow.
I've got to find you, Kim, now. There you go. Right, it's over, Kim. You should have it. You should have it. Yeah, if that's the cemetery in Epping, then
that's the cemetery.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Northfield Cemetery.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that one, Kev, because I don't think I have. We have been to obviously a graveyard and a church and all that in a.
Oh, hold on. No, I don't think we have.
No.
No, don't think so. Not seen it.
Okay, well, it might be another one we have to go and look at then.
Have you been? Greenacre Cemetery.
There you go. Greenacres. No,
That don't ring a bell.
no, it doesn't ring a bell to me neither. But then again, what's it look like? I'm just having a look at it now.
I think it ain't where Steve's buried.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So we have, yeah.
I've been there. Yes. Greenacres. That's very strange. You say that, to be fair, because that's where my dad is buried. I just didn't know it was called Greenacres. But yeah, that's there's a picture on there, and that's exactly where
we've been, haven't we? You take
yes.
me.
Yeah, we didn't do an investigation of it or anything like that. But yes,
I think we found it because we got lost down when we were looking for Northfield Station.
Yeah, I know that bit there. That's that it makes me sound like it sounds like I don't know where my daddy's buried. I do, but I didn't know it was called Greenacres. Long story to that one. It's in Northfield. I don't recall it. Okay, thanks. I'm asking because I was asked if I wanted to camp out overnight.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, I don't know if that is the one. I don't know. It could be. I thought Terry put Greenacres, but Ryan put Greenacres. I thought Terry put Greenacres. It could be then. It could be. I don't know. Greenacres, if it is in a forest.
Yes.
It definitely is in a forest. You don't get too much of it, I don't think. It's what do you call it? What would you call it? It's like a natural one, isn't it? It's an organic place.
Yeah.
Wicker basket boxes and things like that. So yeah, I do know where Greenacres is. So if that is the one, then yeah. Right, guys, I think that is the end of the show. I'm quite happy we've got towards the end of the show. Will we be back? Will I be back next week? Yeah, well, I'm back next week, aren't we? We are back next week. Yeah, and we'll be talking about what happened on Casheswell next week, guys. So thank you all for tuning in, getting Simon to rewrite his book. I'll try and get that started again for him and see how we can get all them downloaded and things like that. But
I just need a little prompt to get me right, to get me back onto it, get me memory going again. But
yeah, who knows? Eh? But no, thank you ever so much, everybody. We'll be back next week. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, everybody that has joined us on Facebook tonight and YouTube. You've been great. Simon can read some out next week. Maybe he can read a paragraph or an event out next week. All right, maybe. We'll maybe see if we can do that. All right, he'll read out an extract from the book next week.
I will.
All right,
actually, yeah.
All right. Take care, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you all next week.
See you next week, everyone.